Hi there, you're once again welcome to our usual online lesson, and I deem it a great privilege once again to have me on your screen at the comfort of your home, and so you're going to learn something in science. So as we normally do, we watch a short video to serve as a starter regarding the lesson. So I urge you to just stay tuned as you watch this video in order to give you a gist about what you're going to learn.
The kid next door.
Let's learn about 5 healthy habits. Habit 1 says brush your teeth twice a day, every day. Habit 1 says brush your teeth and cavities goodbye. Habit 2 says take a bath, clean yourself in every part. Habit 2 says take a bath and comb your hair. Habit 3 says wash your hands, clean your nails and trim them too. Habit 3 says wash your hands, you're germs free now. Habit 4 says dress up neat, in washed clothes, iron pleat. Habit 4 says dress up neat all through the day. Habit 5 says exercise, run around, don't sit down. Habit 5 says exercise once every day. Got it?
Alright, so I hope you really enjoyed the video, and as you can see on the screen, this brings us to what you're going to learn. And our strand is humans and the environment, and our sub-strand is personal hygiene and sanitation. Okay, so let's quickly look at our objectives, what we want to achieve by the end of today's lesson. Okay, so let's look at the objectives that we want to achieve by the end of today's lesson. So by the end of today's lesson, you will be able to define the terms personal hygiene and sanitation, to discuss the causes of body odor, and 3, identify parts of the body or parts of our body that give body odor. So from here, we're going to take them one after the other. But before we move on to the objectives or the main lesson, let's quickly go through the keywords regarding the lesson. Okay, so let's go through the keywords regarding the lesson. So we have 5 of them. We have hygiene, sanitation, bacteria, odor, and circulate. So let's go through the words one more time, and this time around I would like to say the words after me, or repeat them after me as you normally do. Hygiene, sanitation, bacteria, odor, circulate. Alright, so I urge you to go through the words one more time by yourself, or as many as you can, in order to be conversant with the words in regards to the pronunciation as well as the spelling of the words. Okay, so let's look at our first objective, that is the definition of personal hygiene and sanitation. Now, in this walk of life, as human beings, we must always keep our body clean. This will help prevent germs and disease-causing organisms. We will not fall ill if we continually keep our body very clean. Okay, we must always clean our teeth or brush our teeth at least twice a day, bath at least twice a day. We must also wash our dirty clothes and trim or cut down our nails. We must as well shave our armpits and pubic hairs. All these help maintain the body clean and healthy. You get it? So let's look at the definition of personal hygiene. When we talk about personal hygiene is the practice of keeping oneself and one's surrounding clean in order to prevent infection and disease and remain healthy and fit. Okay, so one thing that we get, okay, or the one importance of keeping ourselves clean or personal hygiene is what it prevents us from getting ill, and it makes us very healthy. It prevents us from certain infections and or diseases. So we are required as human beings to keep ourselves and our immediate surroundings very clean, wherever place you find yourself. I believe you are clear with it. Now let's go on to sanitation. Now, sanitation on the other hand refers to public health conditions. So we are talking about the public, okay? Public health conditions related to clean drinking water. Okay, so we must always have clean drinking water and adequate treatment and disposal of human excreta and sewage. Now, when you talk about excreta is a bodily waste which is excreted. I believe we did excretion, that is the removal of metabolic waste like feces, urine, sweat, and all those stuff. Okay, it is so the sewage, the excreta over there is the body waste which is excreted from the body. It is not needed, so it must be excreted from the body, and it is actually done through the sewage. Okay, the sewage, the suspension of water and solid waste transported by sewers. The sewage is the pipe or the system used to remove human waste and to provide drainage. Okay, so for us to live good personal hygiene, okay, to keep ourselves clean in our environment, sanitation is also key to us. So we must also have good drainage system, sewages, and always make sure that we keep our surroundings clean in order to prevent infections and diseases, so as we cannot live healthy and live long as individuals, and that will help us and then the nation as a whole. Okay, so let's look at our next objective, that is causes of body odor. Okay, some of the things that actually bring about body odor, or the sources of body odor. Now, when you talk about body odor is the bad smell the body produces. The body produces, or the foul smell the body produces. Now, body odor is mostly caused by the following: you have sweat and bacteria, lack of fresh air, dirty clothes, improper cleaning of the body. Okay, so these are some of the things we talked about, or we discussed personal hygiene and sanitation earlier, that when we maintain personal hygiene, we actually it helps us to maintain good health and prevents us from infections and diseases. So when we don't maintain our body very well, we have this bad smell and we become so irritating. In other words, when our friends get close to us, they end up going far from us because of the bad smell that we have. Now we are going to take these points one after the other and explain them. That is the sweat and bacteria, lack of fresh air, dirty clothes, and improper cleaning of the body. So stay tuned as we take them one after the other. Okay, now let's look at our next point. We're going to take the causes one after the other. That is, we're going to take the first one, is sweat and bacteria. How sweat and bacteria actually cause bad body odor. Okay, now our body sweats when it gets heated, and the sweat comes out to regulate the body temperature. Now the sweat only does not cause bad odor. Now there are some bacteria that combine with the sweat. Okay, so in the presence of these bacteria, make the sweat give bad odor. Now, bacteria over there is a plural word. It's in the plural form. The singular form of bacteria is bacterial. It's what? Bacterial. Now, so I want you to have in mind that, as I earlier said, that sweat does not only cause bad odor, but the bacteria in our body actually combine with the sweat, and this actually brings about the bad odor. So as human beings, we must always keep our body clean in order to prevent this bad body odor. Now let's look at our next point, that is what? Lack of air. Okay, lack of fresh air. Now, as individuals, we need what? Ventilation. Okay, fresh air in order to keep ourselves, or to take off the sweat. Now, air helps to keep the body fresh and free from body odor. The parts of the body which do not receive air actually produce bad smell or odor. So the mouth, the armpits, the anus, and in between the toes give bad smell because of lack of fresh air that flows around those places. Okay, so when we lack fresh air, or we don't have enough air, there are some parts of the body that actually does not receive enough air. For instance, the mouth, or the armpits, the anus, or in between our toes when we wear our shoes and all those stuff. Okay, they lack air, so we must always receive fresh air. We must not sweat to a certain extent where we smell very bad. So fresh air actually helps to keep the body fresh and free from body odor. Okay, so the next one is dirty clothes. Dirty clothes, we made mention of that. Now, dirty clothes also carry some germs and bacteria, and whenever we wear dirty clothes, the germs and bacteria get into contact with the body, okay, which gives odor when mixed with the sweat. So when you wear dirty clothes, so as you can see on the screen, the first picture on your legs, we have what the dirty clothes, and then the middle one we have the girl wearing a dirty clothes, and as well we have the man wearing dirty clothes. So actually these dirty clothes, they attract germs and bacteria. So when these germs and bacteria get in contact with the sweat, they produce what bad body odor. Okay, so we must always wash our dirty clothes. We must keep them neat. We wash them when they are dried. We iron them nicely in order to kill some germs or some bacteria in them. Okay, so we must always wash our dirty clothes in order to prevent bad odor. This is the last point that I would like us to discuss, that is improper cleaning of the body. As human beings, we must always keep our body clean. We've already discussed that. The body needs proper care to make it fresh all the time. So bathing regularly keeps the body clean and fresh. Whenever we fail to clean the body very well, it produces odor. Okay, so our mouth, for instance, gives odor when we fail to brush our teeth very well. So we must always bath at least twice a day, and brush or clean your teeth twice a day. Okay, when you are brushing, as you can see on the screen, the first picture on your left hand side, that the girl is wearing a dirty clothes. Okay, the body is very dirty. So these dirt also attract germs and bacteria. Look at the middle picture. You can see that the person's teeth is decayed, and when you have a decayed teeth, your mouth produce bad odor. So we must always brush our teeth. As you can see the last picture, we must brush our teeth using the toothbrush and then the toothpaste. Okay, you can use toothpaste like Pepsodent, Close Up. There are quite a number of them on the market, so you can get any of them and use them. Okay, brush your teeth early in the morning and in the evening after taking your meal. You brush your teeth before you go to bed, and bath regularly. In the morning when you are going to school, you bath nicely, and when you get to school, see that your friends will be coming close to you, and when you talk, they'll feel comfortable coming to you. But when you don't bath, you always smell bad when you talk. The smell, the scent that comes out from your mouth smells very bad. So your friends begin to get far away from you. They don't get closer to you. Okay, so you become or too irritating to your friends. So I urge you to keep your bodies very clean. You must always bath, brush your teeth. You must always wash your dirty clothes, and you must always use your handkerchiefs when you are sweating. Okay, in order to prevent bad body odor. So we are going to look at some parts of our bodies that actually produce bad body odor. Okay, so let's quickly look at that. So as you can see on the screen, we have 4 main body parts that produce what body odor. We have the armpits, okay, the armpits, the mouth, we have the anus, we have what in between the toes. So as you can see on the screen, the first picture is the armpits. So we must always what keep the armpits clean by using what lemon. When you're going to bath, use lemon nicely, and you use what a good deodorant after bathing. Okay, you use it nicely. And then the mouth, as we said earlier, it produces what bad odor when we don't brush our teeth. We don't use the toothpaste and then the toothbrush very well. And brushing the teeth, we must brush our teeth very well, okay, and neat. We must brush it thoroughly. And then the anus, my goodness. So the anus, that is where the feces, it says as what a tube where the feces are being excreted or are being removed from the human body system. Okay, so as I explained, that is excretion, that is a removal of metabolic waste. Metabolic waste, sweat is one of them, but it's not good. But the sweat smells when it gets in touch with the bacteria or the germs. So the anus over there excretes what feces. So it helps excrete feces. So we must always clean our anus very well with tissue. The toilet roll, okay, nicely, and then in between our toes when you are bathing, we must always use the sponge nicely there, clean in between the toes very well, okay, and then the armpit you clean it very well, and the like. So these are some parts that produce bad body odor when we don't keep them neat and nice. Okay, so on this note, we've come to the end of the lesson. So we're going to quickly wrap up or have a summary of our lesson. So let's quickly summarize our lesson as we've talked about our objectives, the definition of personal hygiene, sanitation, and the causes of body odor, and then some parts of our body that produce odor. Okay, so as you can see on the screen, our personal hygiene is the practice of keeping oneself clean and an environment or the surrounding clean in order to prevent infections and diseases and remain healthy and fit. Okay, and then sanitation refers to the public health conditions related to clean drinking water and adequate treatment and disposal of human excreta and sewage. Okay, causes of body odor, main mention of sweat and bacteria, lack of air, dirty clothes, improper cleaning of the body, and then we made mention of the parts of the body that produce bad odor, that is the armpits, the mouth, the anus, and in between our toes. So we as individuals, let's always maintain good personal hygiene and sanitation. As we do this, it will help us as individuals, help the nation and the world at large, so that we can be strong and stay healthy all the time. So on this note, till I come your way again, it's your facilitator, Wilson. Bye for now.